The United States of America have the most ever winners at World's Strongest Man with an incredible 12. They also have the most podiums, way more than any other country at 31. So today we're going to take a look at our top 10 Americans of all time. America have had some incredible strongmen over the years. Obviously, there's the big names that we think of. It's been hard for us to kind of put this list together. We've got quite a bit of an honourable mention list going on.
It's as long as the actual list. But to be fair, this is, get our disclaimers out now. This is very subjective, isn't it? So one person's number one might not be someone else's.
This is all fun, and you guys play along below. As always, comment below. Let us know what your order would be. Who's your favourite American of all time? We love seeing what you guys have to say in the comments. So at number 10 on our list is the incredible Nick Best, one of the oldest competitors ever at World's Strongest Man, one of the kindest backstage, someone that loves to kind of spend time with the fans. Nick is a man that kind of wears his heart on his sleeves, and I think that kind of drags us all in as fans. You all want to see Nick do well. I had way too many battles against Nick at World's Strongest Man. He is a fierce competitor and without question deserves to be in our top 10.
Some stats and facts for you then. Nick Best has appeared at the World's Strongest Man a total of 10 times. He's made the final twice, with his best placing being 6th. Over the course of his career, he's won 3 international competitions, which includes the World's Strongest Master, the Giants Live North American Open, and the All-American Challenge.
At number 9 on our list is the incredible TREY Mitchell, and I expect this guy to climb up this list in a few years. Already won the Shore Classic twice, he's made the final of World's Strongest Man a number of times, and he is an absolute beast, and in recent months he is just looking better and better. Can't wait to see what he does in 2023.
He's almost looking Zadrunas-esque these days, isn't he?
He's kind of floating about.
He started to float.
Power, and there's that confident look in himself now.
So in at number 9, TREY Mitchell has competed at the World's Strongest Man 4 times, making the final 3 times. His best finish so far is 4th, and he's won 3 international competitions. The official Strongman Games in 2017, and obviously he is a back-to-back winner of the Shore Classic.
Next up, we have the Texan Stoneman, Travis Ortmeyer, another incredible competitor. He's been going for many, many years, made a comeback. He's competed again recently, but back in the day, Travis was an absolute beast, a 2-time podium finisher at the Arnold Classic, someone that's won multiple strongman shows around the world, and someone that definitely needs to be in this list.
So Travis has appeared at the World's Strongest Man a total of 5 times. He's made the final 3 times, and his highest placing was 5th. He's won a very impressive 7 international competitions, with the most notable probably being the Madison Square Garden Grand Prix, where he beats a prime Derek Poundstone.
Next, we have our first World's Strongest Man winner from America, the one and only PFISTER. He promised everyone in 1998 that he was going to bring the title back to America, and he went and did that. Came back and he won the title against the prime Mariusz Pudzianowski. PFISTER has to be on the list.
So PFISTER had an incredible run at the World's Strongest Man. He competed there 8 times and he made the final 7 times. And obviously his best place finish was 1st in 2006. He also won a further 2 international competitions.
Next we have Mike Jenkins. Now Mike was an absolute beast of a strongman. He won the Arnold Classic. He was winning World's Strongest Man in 2011 when unfortunately he got a back injury. Sadly, Mike passed away and we never really got to see the true potential of what he was capable of, but without question one of the greatest American strongmen of all time.
So Mike Jenkins competed at the World's Strongest Man 3 times, making the final all 3 times. As you said, his best place finish was 4th, and that was in 2013. He won a total of 3 international competitions, the Amateur Arnolds in 2010, the Arnold Strongman Classic in 2012, and the Giants Live Melbourne in 2012.
So this next one is an interesting one because he really only competed in 2 strongman competitions. He happened to win both of those competitions, and they both happened to be the first and the second ever World's Strongest Man contest. Bruce Wilhelm, the original World's Strongest Man. You can't leave someone like that off a list.
It's so hard to compare the career of a Bruce Wilhelm to one of the modern day athletes because the sport is totally different. But like you said, it would be rude to leave Bruce off.
It'd be rude to leave him off. And obviously,
he's a pioneer of the sport.
Exactly that. He's someone that kind of laid the foundations for all of us to follow, and we have to respect that.
I'm sure he inspired many Americans to get into the sport.
Without question. And I got to chat to him last year, and he's still very witty and very,
hilarious.
He's completely hilarious. But a two-time winner of World's Strongest Man, that can never be taken away.
So we'll do this anyway, but like you said, he only competed in 2 competitions ever. They were both the World's Strongest Man, and he won the competition both times.
First ever winner. So we move into the top 4, and we are taking a look at, in my opinion, the greatest strongman never to win World's Strongest Man. He got extremely close. I am, of course, talking about Derek Poundstone. He was one of the absolute best in the world, winner of the Arnolds, winner of Fortissimus, and for those that can remember how close he got in 2008 to loading that last Atlas stone before Mariusz Pudzianowski managed to get it and slap him on the back. We are talking Derek Poundstone, one of the best of all time from America, without question.
So Derek competed at the World's Strongest Man 5 times, making the final on 4 occasions. Obviously, as you just mentioned, his best finish was 2nd in 2008. He won a total of 8 international competitions, with the most notable being the Arnold Strongman Classic in both 2009 and 2010, and he was the winner of Fortissimus in 2008.
Number 3, we are talking about Martins Lisits. Martins is an incredible strongman, the winner of the World's Strongest Man, the winner of the Arnold Classic, the winner of the Rogue Invitational. The man has done it all.
Very close, actually. Very similar stats to Derek Poundstone, but we gave Martins the edge because he won World's Strongest Man, but very, very similar. It was close between those two.
They are similar indeed, but Martins still could add to the list.
Yes, he could. So Martins has competed at the World's Strongest Man 5 times, making the final all 5 times. Obviously, his best place finish was in 2019 when he was 1st. He's won a total of 8 international competitions throughout his career, with the most notable being, obviously, the World's Strongest Man, the Rogue Invitational in 2021, and then the Arnold Strongman Classic in 2022.
Martins. So number 2, we are talking Bill Kazmaier, the one and only Kaz. He could never ever be left off a top list out of any country or anyone in the world. One of the greatest strongmen to ever do this. He was a 3-time World's Strongest Man, a powerlifting world champion, an absolute beast, and a real pioneer of the sport. Bill Kazmaier has to be the top of any list. The only reason he's not number 1 is because there's one American that just nudges Bill down one place. Do you think he's going to be okay with that?
I think Bill will cope.
I think he will. With who's coming at number 1, I'm sure you guys can guess. But Bill Kazmaier, without question, one of the best of all time.
So Bill Kazmaier competed at the World's Strongest Man 6 times. And obviously this was before they had finals, so he was automatically in the final. He won the competition 3 times. But let's not forget, he was very famously banned for competing for being too dominant.
Yeah, there's the whole argument of how many could he have gone on to win.
In total, Bill won 7 international competitions.
So very quickly, we're having a look at our honourable mention. It was a tough decision to say who should be in the top 10. So many great Americans, starting off with Don Reinhardt. 1979 World's Strongest Man, a powerlifting world champion in his own right, an absolute beast of a man.
Another honourable mention is O.D. Wilson. Obviously, quite famously, people feel he was robbed in 1990 of the title. I feel he was robbed too. The reason O.D. didn't make our list, he didn't actually win anything, did he, out of all of the competitions that he did? But he was a real iconic star of the sport, and he definitely deserves a mention.
Another athlete that I think deserves a mention is Mike Burke. He won 3 international shows, competed at World's Strongest Man, competed at the Arnolds. He really kind of burst onto the scene, came into the sport late as well. Had a real short career, but did very, very well, winning a number of Champions League shows and a Giants Live as well.
Another man who was very, very nearly on the list was Jerry Pritchett, of course. His best place finish at Worlds was 4th. He's won 2 internationals. They were both the All-American Challenge. But man, it's hard. I don't like lists for this reason. I like some lists I like, but these ones I don't. I don't like bumping people off lists.
So another athlete I thought everyone's going to mention is Jesse Marunde, someone that really helped grow the sport in America when it wasn't so popular. Famously came second to Mariusz Pudzianowski at the World's Strongest Man. Jesse was one of those athletes that came very, very close a number of times, but he never actually won an international show. So I couldn't put him on the list, but without question, a great American for sure.
And finally, our last honourable mention is Dave Osland. Now, Dave, he made the final of World's Strongest Man quite a few times, and he made the podium once. He was third place. He has 2 international wins. Why isn't he on that list? He beat Marius in a Super Series, but it's really hard because you're comparing eras, and we tried to look at who these guys beat, didn't we? It's very tricky. I mean, maybe Dave should be on the list.
It's why he's on the honourable mentions, you know. He's someone that should definitely be in the conversation of greatest Americans. So many other great Americans that could potentially be on a top Americans list. We have a number of guys right now that could certainly get themselves on there, such as Bobby Thompson, Evan Singleton, Rob Kearney, Kevin Ferris, all fantastic Americans that certainly could go on and do extremely well. I'm sure it's no surprise to anyone to hear that Brian Shaw is number 1 on our list. And if he's not number 1 on your list, maybe we can convince you with these stats. Brian Shaw is without question in GOAT territory when it comes to strongman. So Brian Shaw is a 4-time winner of World's Strongest Man. He's won every title there is to win. One of the greatest to ever do this, and he's had an extremely long and successful career. Auntie Liz, show us everything that Brian's done.
So Brian Shaw has appeared at the World's Strongest Man 15 times, which is one of the most out of anyone ever anyway. He also has the record for the longest streak of finals at 14. So 14 times in a row, Brian has made the final. Obviously, he is a 4-time winner, with the most recent win being in 2016. He has won an incredible 26 international competitions, 3 of them being the Arnold Strongman Classic. But like you say, Brian's ratio of winning, the titles he's won, the records that he's held, the popularity and the growth of the
opposition
sport.
He's been up against.
Exactly, in arguably probably the toughest era ever, and it was so tough because he was one of the guys in it, but it was him and Zydrunas. What could he have done without Zydrunas competing? What could Zydrunas have done had Brian Shaw not been there?
That's a scary thought, but they had to compete against each other, still did incredibly well. Brian Shaw, top of our list. I hope you enjoyed the list, guys. Let us know in the comments who is your top Americans of all time. Have we left anyone off the list that you would make sure is in yours? And do you agree that Brian Shaw should be top of that list? Please give the video a like, share and subscribe to the channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.